Well, hello again, everyone. It feels like I was just here. I was. I am Gary Gonzo. Welcome to P1's coverage of Round 8 of the inaugural season of the Sim Motion ISRA Open Wheel Series as we come to you tonight from the Twin Ring Motegi Oval. Joining me in the booth is Luis Gonzalez Nunez. Luis, we had a bit of a spicy race leading, kind of leading into this one with the first race in the doubleheader at the IndyCar Open Series, top split at Watkins Glen. Post-race was kind of exciting too. But it's back to business with the guys of the ISRA here on Twin Ring Motegi, and I think we'll see. We got a decent-sized field, but I think it's going to be a bit of a learning experience for the NASCAR guys unless they put a lot of practice in.
Yeah, for sure. Really spicy race we saw on Watkins Glen. Over the 60 people watched the race. Is really good race that we have on over there. Barrel and Locker and Kraus over there. Now, what you said, business again. We talked about here. We don't have a Mark Murphy, even Craig Forsyth. So, like I just said, this is gonna be practice for these people, for the NASCAR people. You know, every single race is difficult, and if you get the lead and you get the pole, you can go easily to away. They need to only one lap, the second guy, to catch the lead. So after the second lap, it's really possible. It depends the setup, actually. Really is something 90% is happening every single place. So and every single league. You only have one opportunity to pass lead after one lap. So I think we talking about enough. Glenwood could be have the opportunity to have the lead to the championship today. We see Goodman on top on the lead.
Well, and we'll look into qualifying as we are 50 seconds away from going official. Yep, as mentioned, Murph and Forsyth not here today, and they're 1 and 2 in the points. So that opens the door for Clindy, who is now third in the points, only 8 behind Forsyth and 26 behind Murphy, to possibly take the lead with a good showing today. Rigney 4th, Goodman 5th, Wags is 6th, Kirby 7th, Hayes 8th, Hearn 9th, Gallus 10th. That is your top 20 in points, but with two in the top 2 of the championship and not with us. They are looking like we might see some changing amongst the leaders as we get into the late season here for the points. And let's bring up the schedule just to remind you once more time. This is the first race of the second half of the schedule. Then we go to another tricky track next week in New Hampshire. Then to Michigan, where it's a little bit more wide open, and then a very tricky track in these cars in Iowa. Then on to Charlotte, Chicagoland, and then we will finish up with a 500K at Indianapolis in round 14. That is your remainder of the schedule. So the points end schedule showing that we're going to have a tight championship all the way to the end here in the ISRA. Let's get today's starting lineup loaded up for you. And there you did see the weather conditions for the race is 69 degrees ambient, 86 degrees on the track temperature. So that should not be much of a problem for these drivers with those conditions. Let's get in today's starting grid here. And Goodman with the pole, and only a handful of drivers made the 200-mile-per-hour bracket. Goodman 200.9, showing that, remember, he was in the Lionheart Series. The Lionheart Series visited here. So, again, the Lionheart guys and the regular IndyCar guys are going to show what they know here at the Oval at Motegi. Very difficult oval. Goodman on the pole, Clindy second, Wags third, Fowler, fourth. That is a very typical, what we kind of expected for the top four IndyCar Lionheart guys making up your top four. The big surprise here is the last car in the 200-mile-per-hour bracket. Kirby lining up in the row 3. Then Rigney, the first car out of the 200-mile-per-hour bracket. He's at 199.7. Reagan and Altena back in row 4. Julian making the late decision to jump into today's lineup. Welcome, Julian. He's on row 4. Coker and Gallons back on row 5. Coker again showing that his pace is picking up here. He is qualified in the 9th spot. Moving on, it's Herrick and Rick Ravon back in row 6. Expect Rick to move forward very quickly. Hearn and Ramsey, row 7. Mall and Mitchum in row 8. Welcome Mitchum to the series. Armstrong and Grandin in row 9. And Say Hey Lewis Hayes going to go shotgun in the field for the 19th starting spot back in row 10. So 19 cars showing up tonight. Not a bad lineup still. And we're missing a couple drivers because of vacation and travel.
It's gonna be hard for Rick Ravon going from 12 to the front. Like I said, the turn 3 and 4 is the tricky one. I think so. The turn 1 and 2 is kind of easy, but it's still kind of difficult because you think the car is going in the inside, but it's going to the and also to the wall. And also you have the big jump and the inside and between 1 and 2.
Yeah, there's a big bump there on the bottom of the racetrack. And we'll see how they navigate it. But turns 1 and 2 wide open. Turns 3 and 4 a lot more tighter. Getting ready to go green. 125 laps. Just shy of 200 miles here on the racetrack built into the mountain in Japan. Green flag. Clindy knows that you cannot waste time here, and you need to get out front to get the clean air. He's going to go side by side on the high side with Goodman through 3 and 4, the tight end of the racetrack. They're going to come off the corner side by side, and Clindy's going to be setting them up for the high line in 1 and 2. Bottom line is the fastest line, but can Clindy keep that momentum on the high side going?
Nice. I saw the contact on Goodman. He have an inside. He can break late. Yeah, nice one. But Goodman break late also too.
And now move Clindy to the lead this time by. And they're still side by side fighting in front of him. And Clindy purple lap that time by. Wags, Fowler, Rigney, your top 5. Julian Altena 6th. Reagan 7th. Kirby 8th. Gallus 9th. Ray Vaughn in 10th.
So Goodman decided to stay behind the Clindy. I don't know. Maybe save fuel for now. Who knows? That's kind of weird. They have the opportunity to catch it on turn 2.
Clindy that time by. Purple lap 197.4. This is one of those weird tracks, LGN. You've raced here a number of times. That you don't really have to have engine map 1 tuned up to really keep up or even to hold off the cars behind you. You can go in a lower map and you can still race with the leaders here.
Yeah, for sure. It's because it's all of them about the turn 3 and 4 is kind of weird. It's kind of it's like gateway in turn 1 and 2, but here in turn 3 and 4. But it's something. It's kind of still. Actually, I really like it in Deep W12. This track. I don't like this track with adjustment inside. It's kind of but I really raced many times over here, but I still like it more in Deep W12.
Rigney and Julian battling out. Yeah, I did a practice race here when I was on the Lionheart roster. And I found out that I dialed it back, Kirby and Reagan side by side on the main straight right there, that I dialed it back to engine map 5, and I found out that I really, when I was in 5, I wasn't losing that much ground to the leaders. because everyone has to slow down so much to get through 3 and 4. But in the meantime, I was saving that much more fuel than everyone else, that I really wasn't losing ground to the leaders, and I was able to hold off the drivers behind me. Car sideways, and it's Fowler spinning off of the corner.
Wow.
And that is one of the problems here at Motegi, Twin Ring Motegi, is that you use a little too much weight jacker in the middle of the corners to help these cars rotate. You get back on. Oh, he might have grabbed a little bit of the apron. That's the problem.
He touched a lot of apron over there.
Apron bad, and everyone else behind him and actually himself straightening out that car. Good old Kirby almost into the side of Rigney there. But we are under caution now at lap 8. Anyways, I was getting ready to say, you could defend the car behind you very easily with dirty air in turns 3 and 4. So you don't necessarily need to have the horsepower around this place. But one of the things that if you have too much horsepower around this place is you saw exactly what happened to Chris Fowler. Get under a lot of power coming off of 3 and 4, and the back end will come around. But in the case of what happened with Fowler there, it looked like he might have just grabbed the apron, which is... It happens from time to time, especially when you get the car to over-rotate early in a race.
Yeah, when you're used too much and you turn too much the wheel, that's the problem. When you because the wall is getting too close to you, you have to turn much more a lot to don't hit the wall.
Yep.
And then it's a lot. And then you figure out it's too much. When you try to put back the wheel, the car is make something weird and spin on the exit on turn 4. So yeah, like you said, you can use map 5, you can use a map 3, and the car is getting normally like a turn like a map 1, and it's because I still thinking about the turn 3 and 4 is make you help, and also change the brake bias on front. I like it to work with the brake bias on front. When it's getting no response on me, I put it back. I try to cool it down the front one, and then when it's really good to go, I just put it back again. I never like it to put it no more than 54 minimum, maybe it's 58% maximum on this track.
And they were watching Rigney, who is the first car to come down pit road. So we got a bit of a split strategy out here for tires and fuel. Rigney, Kirby, Ravon, Fowler, Armstrong, Mall, Hayes, Hearn, Mitchum, and Grandin all decided to go to pit road that time by to get a new set of tires and to top off the tank. So they're going to play the long game here. Meanwhile, track position really is key here at Motegi, and your leader, Clendy, stayed out. Clendy, Goodman, Wagner, Altena, Reagan, Gallus, Herrick, Ramsey, and Coker all stayed out. The top 9 stayed out. So they're going to try to hold off those new tires and fuller tanks here in the short run. We're coming to green at lap 11 of 125. If you're just joining us, this is P1's coverage of the SimMotion ISRA Open Wheel Series. Thanks for joining us on our Monday night doubleheader. We're here at Motegi. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not done so already. Coming to green this time by at lap 11 of 125. Round 8 of the Open Wheel Inaugural Championship.
I would like to see the pit stop and green flag. It's gonna be interesting because it's a really challenger the entry. You don't know if you come in early, you lose time, but if you come in between 3 and 4, you can spin the car.
And actually, I believe the track rules for this race is to come in off of 3 and 4, and I saw Mole getting very close. Not sure who he was with. Let's go back and look at that a little bit. Oh, that was Stretch. Got really close to Stretch. Whoa, super close. Oh, look at Richie Hearn being opportunistic on the bottom. He picked up like a ton of spots just in the middle of the corner. And the undercut here is extremely powerful. In fact, I have seen, and he's not here today, and Michael Goodman goes to the top there in the draft behind Clindy, 197.7. But I have seen Craig Forsyth personally win a race here by using that undercut. Now side by side, Goodman and Clindy in the 3. Clindy down low. Clindy gets that car to rotate. Goodman's going to have the momentum on the high side, cuts back down, gets in the draft. But now in the battle is Wagner in that Tony Kanaan Japan Indy McDonald's throwback car. Very nice touch.
Okay, so like I didn't read that about turn 3. Oh, you have battle over there. Kocher, wow. Cocker, Raybon, 3Y.
Whoa,
Ramsey in the
boys.
middle, yeah.
Ramsey's in that too. Fowler's caught back up. Coker is in the tail end watching at the best spot. Even though he lost a lot of positions there. Probably better to let him go, but eating the popcorn from that position. Fowler to the inside of Ramsey. That's his teammate. He's going to get the position. He'll try to catch up to Rayvon. Rayvon is now in 10th. Kirby now 9th. Again, these guys all stopped on lap 9. Ramsey and Coker did not. They have now fallen back a couple spots. Hayes around Mitchum for 17th. Now Mitchum back around Hayes. Back up front, top 3, starting to pull away a little bit. It is Clindy by 1.5 over Goodman. That's actually not 1.5, 0.15. And then we got Wagner in 3rd. And one of the reasons it's so hard to pass here is you are on the power for so long around here, except for this portion right here. You're going to have to get out of the power. You might have to brake a little bit. You're going to have to drop a gear. Now you back up through the gearbox, down the main straight, on the power, 100%. On the power, 100% through 1. Staying on the bottom. There's a big bump there. You see him hit it right there. And he's still on the power, 100%, coming off of 2, still on the power, 100%, all the way down the backstretch. Then you kind of get into the braking. Now you're off the power, downshifting a little bit. Let's get into the cockpit here of Wagner. Watch him, 5th gear. He's in the draft window envelope of the car in front of him, so we might see him go to 6th. Stays above the bump in 1 and 2. Now the big run down in the 3. You see the markers telling you when the braking zone's coming up. He dives it straight in. He goes in very, very deep. Down the 4th gear. Getting rotation on the car off the corner. Now back up through the gearbox. 4th gear. 5th gear. Now he's going to stay on the bottom. He's going to hit that bump right there. Boom.
Goodman is fast.
Goodman's looking on the inside. Go ahead.
Goodman is fast because he stayed for maybe 5 or 6 laps. 11 laps behind on Glenmore, and he's still on the back. He's not leap at all. So he make Glendy for sure is more fast for 110, but. It's fast. With the dirty air, is still in behind on Glenmore, especially in this sector.
Clindy gets into 3 and 4 much better than Goodman, but Goodman gets back into the draft and just kind of pulls himself right back up by the time he gets to turns 3 and 4 again.
You always lose the time on 3 and 4 when you try to brake. So maybe he tried to make some like a brake hard before to going more faster on the exit. or brake late hard to going slow and exit. But yeah, it's kind of you have to play on the moment. I like to brake before and brake hard and then put full throttle on the exit on turn 4. I'm going up to down. That's the other thing. Like a good man doing now.
Oh. Oh, car in the wall off the corner. Gallus in the wall.
Galas.
Herrick in the wall. And we are cautioned. It's almost like Garrett. It's almost like Herrick and Gallus just kind of followed one another. I don't think it was even. Watch this.
Close.
Yeah, I don't think it was. Gallus kind of gets up in the wall, bounces off it, and Herrick, it's just unrelated. Oof.
So Galas is going to the wall, and Henry loses the car.
Yeah, I think Herrick just, as a result, maybe coming off the acceleration, but losing the back end or something. I don't know, but it's unrelated, I think, as everyone kind of squirts on by the high side. That's the big problem about another thing here about Motegi is that when you have the bounce off the wall on the exit of 4, typically you ricochet and rebound into the inside wall on pit road, and then you will bounce back onto the straightaway depending on how much momentum you hit. So you can pick up a lot of innocent bystanders in a simple spin like that. Unfortunately, unfortunate for Gallus and Herrick, but fortunate for everyone else, they were cleared of all the other traffic, and it was able to make their way by. Okay, so we're going to see some people probably coming to pit road, and yeah, in fact, everybody coming to pit road. So everybody that was on that alternate schedule, well, they're now back on the same schedule as the leaders.
So everyone is going in one. So it's a good thing. You know what? If I make the first pit stop, I stay out. Because we're gonna see more yellow flags, especially like we saw Henrik this after. What? I think so. He have 22 laps with the same tires, and he lose the car.
That's a good point. Yeah, he stayed out there longer with the tires. So everybody coming in for a fresh set of Firestones. The kart track record was set here in 1999 by Jill DeFerrin with a speed of 219. Woo. But the IndyCar IRL track record was set here in 2004 by Elio Castroneves with a speed of 205. So a big difference between the kart cars and the IRL cars when they raced here. The career wins leaders here at Motegi is Adrian Fernandez. He got 2 in kart. While Castroneves, Scott Dixon, and Lionheart himself, Dan Weldon, also have 2 in IRL IndyCar competition. But Dixon, with the asterisk, Dixon is the only driver to win on the oval and on the road course. Twin Run Motegi arguably is the site of one of auto racing's most popular mainstream victories in 2008, when Danica Patrick took her one and only IndyCar victory here, making her the only woman in the 100-plus year history of organized IndyCar racing to make it to victory lane. So that is Motegi in a nutshell for IndyCar racing. We have not been back here since 2011, I believe, when they had the earthquake, and the reason why they moved to the road course in that road course race is that the oval became damaged in the earthquake. But my understanding is they might have repaired that here recently. The oval is under a new ownership in terms of sponsorship. And I know that Takuma Sato took one of his Indy 500 winning cars and did some demonstration laps on this for his fans, his droves of fans in Japan. It's still, I believe, a Honda facility. So maybe we see it added back into the IndyCar calendar. Who knows? I would love to see it back as another oval. But if we don't, at least we still have it on iRacing.
I hope to. But it's too expensive. Take all that stuff and going to the other sea.
Yeah, it was a lot easier when the kart series was sponsored by FedEx. They just put it on FedEx airplanes in Indianapolis and send them on over as part of the sponsorship deal. Rave on to the inside of Kirby, going into one. Kirby's done some really fast restarts. Ravon's done some really fast restarts, and that's Rigney, actually. He got around Kirby on the restart last time, and now he gets around Rigney. Rigney now on the inside trying to get it back as he goes down low. Ravon up high. Ravon's now going to lose a position to Kirby.
And you see on the front, Julian and Wagner, it was an attack on the good man. And now he pulled back a little bit.
Chris Reagan up to 5th in this battle as well. Side by side, Rigney and Ravon one more time. Ravon keeps losing track position in the corner, but he's going to get a big run on the high side. Gets back in the draft, goes to the inside. He might be able to pull the position off this time on the inside through 1 and 2. Clindy back to the purple lap at a 198.2. And Ravon clears Rigney. Move Rick up to 6th. Fowler to the inside of Kirby. Wagner around Goodman. Is he going to slide up? Oh!
Ooh, I thought good. I thought it's going to be coming up, but yeah, nice.
And that is a that McDonald's livery. Sorry, that's from 1999. That was driving at that season was Tony Kanaan. I believe that was his rookie year.
With the McDonald's.
Yeah, he was. It was for. It was for Forsyth Racing in the '99 season. Actually had a Honda in that one. Go back and look and see what Tony's...
I remember Sebastian Bourdelle with that.
Oh, Tony Kanaan, his rookie season was 98. Right. All right. So that's still very good and an appropriate chassis, appropriate livery to be wearing for this race here at Motegi. 34 of 125. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Watching a battle here between third and fourth, Wagner and Altina. Rigney and Fowler. Kirby and Fowler. This is for 8th. Rigney and Kirby's cars look a lot alike.
Yeah.
Just by general glance. See the different lines these cars are taking through 1 and 2. You can do 2 or 3 different lines if you want to. Oh, Hearn greets the turn 2 wall a little bit. Armstrong on the high side of Mitchum. This is a battle for 14th and 15th. Hugo Gallas, who's executed the fast repair, is 16th, still on the lead lap. Lewis Hayes, last car to lead lap in 17th. Brian Grandin is back at 18th, 2 laps down, and Jim Herrick back underway. He is currently 5 laps down. Oh, Mitchum way up top. He's going to lose 2 spots there. 1 to Armstrong, 1 to Gallas. This, I don't know if you remember this race or not from the Lionheart series, but did you remember the Lionheart Retro series when they raced here one time?
I raced over here, and I think I was on second or something. I was in front row. I stay on the front, and I think I have a contact with Matt. I don't remember, but yeah, when I participated, I remember the only one.
I forget what season it was, but it was a very entertaining race. It was a pack race the entire time in the Retro Series, which was driving the Lotus 79s here. And at one point, there was a huge wreck very early in the race where they were 5 wide going into turn 3, at least 5 wide. And the driver said afterwards, I didn't know I was 5 wide. And to be honest, I don't think there's a 5 wide call in iRacing where they say 5 wide, you're in the middle. So I'm like, that's probably an accurate assessment.
Actually, even in the cruise ship, the other, what I used to, they don't say nothing. They say 3 wide, 1 inside, 1 outside, 2 inside, 2 outside, but they don't say nothing about 3 inside, 2 outside, or whatever. No, they don't say nothing. You just 2 inside, 3 wide, and that's it. That's a kind of clinch they have to at least pick, but they make it for GT or GP cars. Yeah.
I mean, they don't really anticipate 5 wide cars. We just see Rick also greeting the turn 4 wall a little bit. He seems to be okay. He's in a battle with Chris Reagan for 5th. Reagan and Rayvon. Also a little bit further back. Who's that? That was Ramsey and Ball. There we go. So, now that we're into a long green run, and we're back up front, Clindy is your leader by 7/10 now. Wagner back 1.5. We're coming up to the point here very shortly to where we saw Herrick's tires where he got loose off of 4. These guys will start getting into that same condition again. How long do these guys want to go, and who wants to attempt the undercut?
That's the part I see Rayvon and Reagan very close. So that's the part that's making more entertainment for us to watch. It's not about the race, it's about what is the strategy, and I think here is really good strategy. And also if you practice speed entry, I always practice speed entry. Over here is really tough.
Oh, it is so hard. Yeah,
it's really hard because if you break too late, you can go to the track and then you're gonna spoon for sure. But if you go too slow, you can lose maybe 2 seconds. You remember what happened with Pablo on the Pixar series? I think it was last season. When he was lead for 2 seconds, he came to the pit, and I think was Maleshka won the race.
Yeah.
Because he made better pit stop. So, and also he finished on 3rd actually. So it could be happening for that. So the race is open still until the white flag. The checkered flag is out. And also Goodman, he have a pull back for 1 second.
Yeah, looking at the second now for him. We're going to show you gaps between positions, as this is fairly common for an IndyCar race here. These cars will get spread out, and they'll tend to be anywhere from a second to a half-second gap in between them, and that's kind of what we're seeing throughout the field. Although Kirby, let's go back and like Kirby side by side with Fowler. Fowler had an early pit stop and also that spin off of 4, so he's recovering a lot of lost ground. He's now into the top 10. He's up to 8th, although he's down 4 spots from where he started. Your biggest gainer of the day, this guy right here. To no one's surprise, Rick Rayvon. He is up 7 spots. And he's on the move, hitting those bumps on the bottom there on the white line through turns 1 and 2. He's now broken away from Chris Reagan a little bit, and he's about ready to enter the draft envelope of the car in front of him, which is going to be Julian Altena in fourth. Now, the difference is here now, once he gets to that window, he's going to be able to use the draft all the way down the front stretch in the 1 and 2, down the back stretch, but then that dirty air is going to begin to start impacting him when he gets to 3 and 4. So we'll see how much he gains on Julian here over the course of these next couple of laps.
Richie Hearn again on turn 2 in an exit. Another kiss on the wall.
Just a kiss.
Yeah, but it's getting close and close, so... you know what? It's hard, this track. It's really hard. You think you can make the turn on turn 1 and 2, and the car, I don't know how it's going up, like now with Richie Hearn, it's going up and going up and going up, and then you have to leave the car and lose half a second maybe over there. So it's really hard. And also this brake, you don't know how to brake. You maybe, well, you have to catch which point you have to brake. If you brake in the middle, you should be going to close to the apron and make the turn. But if you brake to the inside, you have to brake more than what you're thinking. So it's kind of hard. It's really a hard track. I don't know why it's out on the calendar. They should be make it again and
I
put
agree.
it in the calendar. I know it's expensive. It's expensive for sure for now.
Well, I mean Honda's a
over.
sponsor. They can pay some money if they want to.
But that's a lot time. But still over there.
Richie Hearn has actually raced here for real in IndyCar. He finished 27th in '98 and finished 10th in '99. And those were his only 2 starts here in IndyCar. Driving for Della Penna. Oh, Ramsey greeting the turn 4 exit wall there a little bit. 53 of 125. We are now 27 laps into this stint. 75% fuel on these cars. So it is not 100% fuel, so they will be pitting a little bit earlier. They do have tire limits as well. Actually, unlimited. They do have unlimited tires here. Sorry, unlimited tires here. 1 fast repair, 45 miles per hour on pit road. It's painfully slow here. Julian got around. Julian got around Wagner. Have not mentioned that, so move Julian up to 3rd. I think he got around Wagner while we were watching Richie Hearn there. And then there we see Reagan and Rigney side by side at the start-finish line going into 1. So the road course here at the facility is not part of the oval. The oval and the road course are separate circuits. That's why they call it Twin Ring. It's not there's no roval here. And car coming to pit road, scheduled stop, Matt Wagner. So he's going to attempt the undercut.
I hope it works.
Well,
it should be work, so actually.
Yeah, we'll see. We will definitely see. And I was asked by a driver any tips here, and I said, once you see someone start the undercut procedure, you need to pit fairly quickly. And we'll see if that driver or any other driver is going to come and answer that call. Down and away, new set of tires, fresh, full tank of fuel for Wagner, as now he's coming up to speed on a very bumpy, very slick apron.
Like we said, the entry is really hard. You know what? The exit is super easy. It's one of the most easy exit you can find in oval. The other one look like easy, but this is easy. I don't know, maybe because the setup make easy the exit, because it's not really banking. Although it's not too much banking. The only one or two they have a banking. The other one is none.
All right, so Clindy staying out. Goodman staying out. Altena staying out. Ray Vaughn staying out. Rigney staying out. Reagan staying out. So We are watching drivers here go long. Wagner went 30 laps. So,
should be going.
You know what he's thinking, though?
40?
He might be thinking, get the lap 60-ish, get the lap, and he's at 60 right now, get the lap 90-ish, and then try to go home from there.
Yeah, because in my history stand I have a Motegi, you can make maybe I put less fuel actually. I put like you consume less. So I set 40 over the 40 laps. Maybe the limit is 44. So I said maybe they can go to 40 laps, and yeah. So I have to count it. How much we have to go? We have a 60.
Oh, car spinning on pit road. Chris Reagan. Is he going to get a caution, or not a caution, but is he going to get a black flag for a dangerous entry? He might just be okay. He might have just lost time. So he is now definitely wanting to get those Firestone tires off as he comes down to his stall.
He came on. Oh, Clint is coming now, but pitted in. He came on 35 miles inside, so it's 50 miles on Pitt's road.
All right, here comes Clindy down to the apron off of 3 and 4 as the track rules or the event rules state. He's coming to pit road and he is bringing all of the leaders with him. So Goodman, Altena not waiting, Rigney staying out. So
and
now
Raybon is exiting now.
Raybon coming out. He stopped a little bit early as well. So now we're going to watch and see where Wagner cycles through. And here is Wagner. He gets around Rick.
So where's Clendy?
Clindy down and away. Goodman down and away in a drag race with Julian. And then where does Wagner come into this?
He's South Goodman now. Wow. It was close, but not really close. It's like for 1.7.
But Julian actually got around Goodman. That would have been a battle for position on the racetrack. Coming to pit road this time, Kirby, your leader. Dean Mall, Darth Mall coming to pit road. Ramsey coming to pit road. Coker coming to pit road. So this will turn the lead back over to Clindy, who now has a lead over Julian Altena and Michael Goodman. Those are the only two that have swapped in the top 3. Wagner 4th, Rayvon 5th. But we will see when the order shakes out here when they're done on pit road. So Wagner makes his way up to 4th, and I'm not sure if he really got too much of an undercut on everybody there.
Let's see, what is the pit stop he did? Actually, Julian did 34.9 seconds on pit.
And 7.9 in the box. It was quickest by far, and that's obviously how he ate up the ground between himself and Goodman. Goodman 35.4 on pit road, 8.1 in the box. Julian 34.9 and 7.9 in the box. So here's a pass for position. Rick Rayvon, Rocket Rick to the inside of Wagner. Move Rick now up to 4th, up 8 spots in this race. If you're just joining us, this is P1's coverage of the SimMotion ISRA Open Wheel Series coming to you from Motegi. We've now completed 68 of 125 scheduled laps. If you're enjoying P1's coverage of tonight's race, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for future iRacing content, including tomorrow night, IndyCar Oval Series, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. We come to you from Charlotte Motor Speedway for the top split on Tuesday night. And then later this week, me and LGN over on the Elite Racing Network, round 1 of the 2025 Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series at Legacy, Kentucky. Adriano Pinero is going to try to defend his championship on one of the most prestigious leagues out there running right now. Check us out over on the Elite Racing League, the Elite Racing Network over on YouTube. Just search it out. Join us 7:45 p.m. Eastern on Thursday night from Legacy, Kentucky.
We are back to business after, what, 3 months maybe?
Yeah, it's been a little off time.
Yeah.
ISRA has been keeping us sharp. Tonight's race brought to you by SimMotion. SimMotion are sim racers that take care of other sim racers. That is their mission. With over 50 combined years of experience in the community and industry, SimMotion is your one-stop strategy for everything you need for sim racing, whether you still have your rookie stripes or you're a grizzled veteran like this guy we're watching right here, Rick Rayvon. Check out their line of sim racing hardware, including top brands like Azatec, Butt Kicker, Moza, SimMagic, and more. SimMotion is a proud sponsor of the ISRA. Visit their online store today or follow one of their socials. All the links you need are in the description. Julian reeling in a little bit of Clindy. Go ahead.
Yeah, close Raven to the wall, and also Wagner same too, close to the wall. It's like a you can go to the wall, but that was really close to touch. So just be careful there with these two guys.
Yeah, just like sometimes you follow too closely in the tire tracks of the car in front of you, and they're up into the wall, and the next thing you know, whoop, you're into the wall.
That's the big problem, especially and when you make the brake too early and you lost the point brake. That doesn't happen.
Let's see if this graphic is actually working. There we go. Yeah, it is. Julian reeling in slowly, our leader. It says lap 74 on all the laps there, but it shows the right times. Yep.
Oh.
Anyways, now he's 5/10. We'll get that worked on by our dev.
Oh, you know what? Reagan have a too much weight jacket. I don't want to jinx him, but it's going high to low. But the exit on the back of the car is kind of slightly loose, and could be maybe more loose after lap 20 on the old tires.
Yeah, we're getting there. Lap 13 for a lot of these drivers. Rick is at lap 14 of his stint. Wags is at lap 20, and we suspect Wags will come in next right around lap 90-ish or so, as we are at lap 77 of 125. All right, let's go back a little bit and check out Richie Hearn running down Ramsey. Ramsey in a track position battle with Grandin as they go side by side in the 3 and 4.
So we haven't chat the Amy Cocker. For sure it's going for Shane.
Oh, yes, probably cheering on Shane there. He's back in 14th. There he is.
Yeah, we have Paula for Clendy. Wagner, I don't know why is make a chat over there. Nick Block Racing for Rick. And George is in chat also too. He said the Ferrari spun on base lap in 99?
Maybe. I'll have to go back and double check that.
Oh, that's what he said to Wagner. Should be maybe true.
In that case, he pulled a Roberto Guerrero. Everyone seemed to forget about it, though.
Yeah.
Caution on the racetrack.
Oh,
Shane Coker's around on the main straight. Doesn't touch anything, but we are back under caution here. Oh, and maybe he did touch something. We'll see. Here we see him high through 3 and 4, which is nothing wrong with that.
Yes, he touched.
Oh, but the exit of death. Boom. And then he goes to the inside. Very much like we saw with Hugo. If he could wheel it around, he can get the fast repair on that.
Ugh. Yo, thank God this is not a real life race, because Henrik hit the wall very, very heavy, and Cocker is in too.
Yeah, that would be certain toe damage.
Disaster.
Yeah, leg and toe damage. Looks like everyone's coming to pit road.
Like a Salazar problem.
Salazar, Rick Mears had some major foot injuries. He's one of them. Nelson Piquet, when he had that wreck at Indianapolis, he had the major foot injuries as well. I think Mario had some major foot injuries when he wrecked in '92. Yeah, so the safety of these cars, as we see Rick getting into his box there, a little cockeyed. The safety of the toe box of these cars have definitely picked up over the years, but still, I'd imagine coming in off the corner that fast would definitely hurt.
I remember I watched a video on Jacques Lafitte on Formula One in Brandshardt, 70 something. He went on the hill. He hit the wall on the hill, but he hit the wall like Cocker did, and he broke both legs. And that car's on 70 something, 80 something. Yeah,
the cars from the 70s and 80s really didn't give you a lot of protection from your feet. The Rick Mears incident, you should be able to find that on YouTube, was at, it really wasn't even at a fast racetrack. It was at San Air. It was at a very short oval that they used to race on in the Montreal area. Kind of a triangular-shaped 7/8 of a mile oval. And he just swapped ends on the main straight of all places and nosed it right into the guardrail. And it wasn't a very fast wreck, but it was certainly very traumatic. Rick Ravon can probably tell you all about it. That's his hero. But we see Clindy leading, well, he's leading the 40 on by. That's Jim Herrick. Not sure what's going on here. But Chris Reagan is your leader. Devin Ramsey, his teammate, second. Mason Mitchum is staying out. He's going to go to third. So Clindy then will have 2 cars in front of him. Okay, so I think Reagan is... No, we're not going to get a wave around. We're not going to give a wave around because Reagan and Ramsey and Mitchum stayed out, so they are actually going to be first, second, and third. Grandin and Herrick are going to be just, unfortunately, 2 cars a lap down in the way of Clindy in fourth to getting to third. But they're doing they're doing nothing wrong. They're just lining up as they should. They might be fending a little bit to the inside, feigning a little bit to the inside, excuse me, to allow Clindy on by for the restart. We shall see. Julian is lined up behind Clindy. He is 5th, Goodman 6th, Ravon 7th, Wagner 8th, Rigney 9th, Kirby 10th, coming to the green flag. Chris Reagan, your leader. Green. And he stays low on the racetrack. And a very odd-looking restart, but it works. as he stays
Yeah,
to the
look at
inside
that
to the end, into one. This might not be a bad move if Chris can pull it off.
Look at Julian and Plenty.
Yep, there's a battle for what might be the lead if they can get up to the front around those drivers that stayed out. Also in the battle is Rayvon and Goodman. And Julian, gets the position. And Goodman into the wall off a 2, causing everybody to take evasive maneuvers behind him.
I think he have a damage. Let me see the on board. Oh no, it's okay.
Look at that, different lines in front of him, but all that's dirty air. Needs to be careful. Coming off the corner, there it is. Okay, everybody's in line. Rayvon on the inside of Clindy, can't pull it off, gets back in line behind Clindy. Now Julian is caught up to Brian Grandin. So Brian is sitting back at 18th, but he just has pace. Side by side, Rayvon and Clindy. Rayvon gets the position over Clindy. Clindy gets into the back of him.
I'm gonna say with nice pass on Rayvon. And Clindy, I think so he could break late, and he almost collected Rayvon.
All right, so here's the pit information on Reagan, who has, with his teammate, worked their way out to, and we're going to bring up intervals right now real quick. So Reagan now has a 0.6 of a lead over Ramsey and a 2.3 over Mitchum. So Reagan is 28 laps into his stint. Ramsey is 24 laps into his stint. Mitchum 25. They went 35, 39, and 38 the last time. So we're looking at about 7 laps before Reagan comes to pit road, give or take.
I think this is the best strategy. To stay out. So they need to at least 6 more laps. And he can go to the pit, put the fuel, put the new tank, and go to the end.
Yeah, and go to the end. Well, everyone else, I think, has to stop.
If it's not coming the yellow flag out. And Rayvon is going hard. Now he passes Julian now. He's going for Brian. Lap down.
Yeah, Rick now knows, if he's done the math, that he needs to keep it as close as possible to Reagan, Ramsey, and Mitchum because they are now on the B strategy. They could come to pit road here. Probably we get in about 10 laps, I would imagine, give or take. And they're good to go to the end, and they can go on light tanks and fresher tires, whereas these guys might have to stop one more time, and if they don't have to stop, they're going to be on very worn tires at the end. Kirby and Wagner side by side. Kirby cuts in front of Wagner. Is going to bring Rigney with him. But look at Fowler on the high side sending it.
So Wagner loses the momentum because he almost hit the wall on turn 2 and he lost 3 position in half a lap.
And we will take a real quick break when we get to the 100 lap mark to get a word in for Sim Motion. But until then, our leader is Chris Reagan. Devin Ramsey, his teammate, is second. Mason Mitchum is third. He stayed out. But now he is under attack from Rick Rayvon with a fresher set of tires.
Mason is coming pit now.
Okay, Mason Mitchum is declared pitting this time by, and he comes down off the apron. Now, can he keep it down on the apron, not sliding back up on the racetrack? That might bring out the caution. He gets there, so he makes a safe stop. That should be his final stop. It'll be pretty close. He went 38 or 30 this time, but he's been 38 before. Chris Reagan, he won the inaugural race that we had in the ISRA when we first came on the air with them in the Truck Series. Season 1, Race 1. I believe he won at Daytona. Ramsey now behind his teammate, 2.2 seconds. Reagan pulling away. I think
Reagan's coming now.
Okay,
yeah.
Coming to pit road, so he is going to be pitting at 97, coming to 98. But this is his final stop.
Nice stop for him.
And now Ramsey working with Mitchum a little bit in the draft to help his mileage. Whoa, he hit the bump and maybe grabbed a little bit of the apron and got a little loose. Okay, here comes Devin Ramsey in for his, I'm thinking his final stop. That's going to turn the lead over to Rick. Does Rick now have enough fuel?
He's
Caution!
He connected somebody. Oh, Brian.
It's Grandin.
Oh no! This is not good. Oh, almost connected somebody else. It's not good for Reagan, this.
No, it's not. And there we see coming in. He's coming in hot, but he's in control right now. Now the back end starts to come around, and then the tires lock up, and then we go back up onto the racing line. Oh, and Grandin just kind of barrels on into it.
At that point, you have to remember to turn down your weight jacket.
Yeah, so watch this from Brandon's point of view. It happens, but just not a lot of time to react. And he thought maybe he'd slide up a little bit more, and he just stops right in front of him. Right in front of all of our leaders, as a matter of fact. Okay, so this now changes everything, really.
This should be good for Reagan because everybody's coming pit now.
Well, not Julian.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And not Wagner. And not Dean Ball. And Mitchum is in line there, but I think he is a lap down. Yes, he is. And Reagan, I think, is going to be...
Fourth? Oh, it's passing everyone. Okay. Yeah, it's coming on third now.
Okay, so he's going to be fourth, Reagan. And he's done. He's pitted, and he has fresh tires and can go the distance now. Ooh, okay. Let me give you a report now. This is going to get spicy, folks. This is 2 spicy races in a row. Julian, 18 laps into this stint. Wagner, 18 laps into this stint. Mall, 18 laps into this stint. Last time, Julian went 19 laps into his stint, but of course he came in with a caution at lap 82. Wagner pitted on lap 82 as well. He went 26 laps on his stint. Mall came in on that 82 caution and's gone 17 laps on his previous stint. So that Julian, Mall, and Wagner, Julian and Mall are actually at the point where they pitted last time. Wagner is still about 8 laps away from doing that. Who's burning fuel? Somebody's burning fuel. We could hear him.
No, I can't
Rick.
hear anymore.
Rick.
Old school.
Yeah, Rick apparently thinks he's a little bit heavier on fuel than he needs to be, and he's trying to burn it off by hitting the rev limiter. What you do is you punch in your clutch, or if you have a hand clutch, you can use a hand clutch too, and then just go to 100% throttle, and that will help burn off some fuel. In exchange, it's going to heat your engine up a little bit, so you can't use it too much, but it tends to burn off fuel faster than it heats up your engine. So he's very old school here, trying to get rid of some weight. We are coming to the green flag. Julian Altena, your leader. Lights are out on the pace car. Lap 101 coming to 102 of 125. We'll get a word in here momentarily from Sim Motion, and we'll be right back, but we'll get the green flag underway. Pace car getting in position to leave the racetrack to turn this race over to Julian, our leader. .25 to go. Green flag. Julian gets a good run. We are back underway. 25 to go here at Motegi. 24 to go at Motegi now. So really, that caution hurt the most Rick Ravon. Rick Ravon is back in 6th. Clindy got out in front of him. Chris Reagan came out, just really stayed out, and then got the cycle around by virtue of staying on the lead lap. That was the biggest thing for him. And he gets the wave around, and then he, not the necessarily wave around, he just cycles forward. He's now 4th. Now can we see, does Altena, Wagner, and Ball have enough fuel to get to the end?
I think... Well, you remember I told you they can go for 40 laps, but nobody do it. So it should be. We have to figure out. Oh, that's close, Clendy and Raybon. Whoa.
Whoa, yeah, they're still close. And we got to get in this last word from Sim Motion, and we'll be right back for the finish of this great race at Motegi right after this quick word.
With years of experience and a passion for customer service, Sim Motion is a trusted name for Sim Magic products. Whether you're just getting started or a seasoned pro, we have the gear to get you on the podium. At Sim Motion, we don't just sell gear, we feel your passion for sim racing.
We are back, and we will take you to the finish as Ravon and Clindy continues to battle it out. Clindy down to the inside of Rick in the 1 and 2. 19 to go. Your leader, Julian Altena. And he's not had himself a good Friday and Saturday. Sunday, he had a pretty decent run in the Indy Elite Series. On the verge of a top 10 finish there at Milwaukee. But he was a victim of circumstance in his own league in his DW12 Iconic Series on Friday. And on Saturday, just a victim of circumstance. Ball and Reagan battle for third. Reagan on the high side, going around Mall. Mall fighting back on the bottom side. Here comes Ray Vaughn. He's going to be part of this battle. Clindy then, had Fowler cut across his nose, and Clindy's now starting to lose pace to this group. Fowler back in 6th. Here comes Rigney in this battle. 17 to go. Rick Ray Vaughn on the high side of Dean Darth Mall, and he gets the position. He's going to lose it here in the corner. Mall holds the bottom, but he can't hold it too long, and that's going to allow Rick on by. A little bit further back, Chris Fowler around that battle as well. He's still holding off Clindy and Rigney. Can Rick, with the fresher tires, now 10 laps old, get up to Reagan? That Reagan only has 2 lap older tires. But he's there now. Rick to the inside of Reagan. Oh, Reagan's going to fight back on the high side with those. Oh, almost into the wall.
That's close. That's very close. But nice battle over there. Reagan's going fast. Fast and furious on the goal for the front.
And Julian and Wags want this. With 15 to go, they want to see this. They want to try to pull away or keep delayed as long as possible. Those two battling with fresher tires. I don't think they're concerned about Maul, but they might be concerned about Fowler if he can somehow get into this battle.
I think so. They're concerned about the fuel. Again, we have 13 to go. I think so he can catch to go to the end with that fuel.
Reagan and the high side, 3 different lines through 3 and 4.
Makes sense.
Clindy evasive moves in the back. Now Kirby to the inside of Clindy. Is Clindy saving or is Clindy possibly damaged from something?
It should be have a damage, or maybe, you know what? Sometimes when you go to the pit,
and Magner to the front over Julian. Sorry.
There's a lot of action around. Well,
Julian sticking right with Wags. Julian maybe decided to give up the position tactfully because he needs to save. He's going to stay in the draft of Wags. Right behind him is Reagan. Reagan doesn't tactfully need to do anything. He should be good to go. So he should be racing these guys out if he can. And all the while, he's holding off Rick Ravon in 4th. Rick with the freshest tires out of this group. 11 to go. Oh, look at Reagan make the move on Julian on the high side. Gets a run into the corner. He's going to get a big run off the corner.
I think so. This is the chance. He's still high. Look at that.
Julian stays high and gives the dirty air. But we're going to see Reagan get a big run down the backstretch, and he might just send it on the high side of the 3 and 4. He gets to the attenuator of Julian. Julian staying high, feeding them the dirty air. Rick goes to the bottom. 10 to go, coming 9 to go. Rick almost in the wall off the corner that time. Now Julian with a bit of a momentum and a run on Wagner. Can he get a good run down the backstretch? We're going to see it right here. Here comes Julian. Big run on Wags going into 3 and 4. Here comes contact. It takes out Ravon, and Reagan gets taken out. Reagan made contact. Caution on the racetrack. Reagan might be damaged, but right into the back of Julian.
Julian left the car before the break point, but it's not Reagan's fault. Actually, even Julian tried to save the fuel. I think so. It's a race deal.
And Rick, oh my goodness, Rick barrel rolling into this thing. So now it's not a fuel mileage race, and anybody wants to come to pit road and maybe get some fresh tires and try to strap them on and make a run at this thing. But there you see the new phrase that you came up with when we were doing our a classic IndyCar series race. It looks like iRacing has forgiven Chris Reagan because his car has snapped back into place.
iRacing forgive Reagan.
And so Reagan now, we are under caution. Wow, we're going to have an exciting finish here, folks. It is going to come down to Wagner, Reagan, Maul, Rigney, and Kirby now your top 5. And we're going to have a sprint to the end, probably with 6 to go.
I think Reagan didn't understand about Julian saving fuel. I know Reagan is more comfortable to make the line on the high, but you have to figure out Julian is defended because he make a lift because he need to save the fuel to go to the end. If you're Reagan, it should be take the inside and make the turn inside.
He might have. There's a couple things going on. If maybe Reagan thought Julian was going to cut down and leave a little bit more room on the high side, and maybe he's going to open that up for him, and it just didn't open up. Or I don't know. It's tough to get into other drivers' heads.
I think with all the technology we have around, you can figure out you have more than 37 laps for sure not, because now Wagner said in radio, maybe I gonna out of the fuel to the end. So with all of that you see on the track, I should be taken inside. It's easy. They give it the inside. They give it maybe 3 lines to make the pass. I know the pass is much hard for inside, but
we're riding.
I don't know. I'd say this race deal, actually.
We're riding with Wagner, and he is in 6th gear, and he is barely gassing this thing. And to be honest, if he was tight on fuel, if it's me, I'm going to clutch it, and I'm going to be on that white line all the way around or below the white line to make the shortest trip possible around this place. So he might just be fooling people and saying, yeah, you don't know, I might be running out here. We'll see if this is a battle of gamesmanship or he's telling the truth out there.
We're going to have a new winner, maybe. Who knows?
Hey, while we ride with this guy, check us out on Wednesday night. Me and Ryan Eric King, I'll be broadcasting Matt Wagner's Horizon IndyCar League when they go to Gateway at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. So check us out for that one, and you'll see Matt Wagner part of that lineup, part of their inaugural season. But we're coming to the green flag with 5 to go.
I'm nervous. And even racing, I'm nervous.
I'm glad I'm up here or in my chair in my computer room watching this and not behind a wheel. I would be, my legs would be shaking, my arms would be shaking. I would be all nervous. When people say there's not anxiety in this stuff, they're right here. This is where the anxiety builds up. Going green, hopefully for the last time at lap 5. Wagner gets a good jump over Reagan. It's Reagan. It is Wagner, Reagan, Mall, Rigney, and Kirby. Your top 5 going into 1. Clindy looking to the inside of Goodman, trying to get some positions back. And he gets at least 1.
Be careful, Dim Mall, 39 laps on same tire, so it should be same as a Wagner.
5 to go, coming 4 to go for Wagner. In that Japanese livery. To the inside, protecting that inside lane from Chris Reagan. Now off of 2, down the backstretch. Reagan's going to have a run down into 3 and 4. We're going to see what happens.
They have to go. They have to go. They have to make the pass now because if it's the yellow flag is out, the game is over.
Yeah, if we go caution this time, there's a car on the wall.
Oh, no.
Devin Ramsey. Very slow on the racetrack. I don't think we're going to go caution. Still going. 3 to go. Wagner, your leader, through the backstretch. Here comes Reagan one more time. He's going to get a run. He's going to try it on the high side. Not going to have enough momentum to get there. In fact, Wagner actually pulls away a little bit. Coming to 2 to go. And I think this battle is going to come down to these last 2. I think the only way Maul gets into this is if there's some sort of contact. Reagan sends it to the inside, but he throws it in there, and it's maybe going to scrub off a little too much speed. We're going to go side by side off the corner for the white flag. Okay, now we see what Reagan's going to do this time. He's going to send it down in the 3 and 4.
he leave over there. He having too much to going on the back on the Wagner.
Wagner to the inside. He defends. Now that opens the door to the inside for Reagan. He pulls alongside in 3 and 4. He actually gets a little loose on the bottom of 3 and 4. Off the corner, Wagner holds on and beats Reagan for the win here at Motegi.
Nice.
Very nice race.
Oh, we have a smoke over there.
Wagner with the win. This is his second win in the series. He won earlier this season and just as close of a race at Las Vegas. And he also, of course, is the first to win that won in the NASCAR series when the ISRA ran the NASCAR trucks in Xfinity. He gets another win here in the Indy cars at Motegi. Chris Reagan, best finish all season here in the Indy cars. He comes home second. Dean Mall, best finish all season for the Indy cars as well. Comes home third. Rigney, another good finish for him. Remember, he is looking to probably gain the most in the points because I believe he isn't he third in the points? No, Clindy's third in the points. Rigney's fourth in the points, and he finishes ahead of Clindy, so there might be some movement in there in the points. Kirby, good finish for him. He finished right where he started, and this is a very challenging track for a non-IndyCar regular. He comes on fifth. Fowler recovers from that early spin, sixth. Clindy, not the race that he wanted. I'm sure he learned a lot here. We'll find out more about his race probably when I get a chance to talk to him, but he comes home seventh. Goodman, eighth. Hearn gets in the top 10 in ninth. Hugo Gallas, we saw him sideways going into the turn 4 inside barrier on pit road. He comes home 10th.
Nice.
Stretch Armstrong, 11th. Lewis Hayes, 12th. Rick, not where he wanted to be, 13th. Coker, 14th. Mitchum, 15th. Ramsey, good strategy there at the end to hang on, but unfortunately, not his day the way he wanted to end. 16th. Herrick, 17th. Brandon, 18th. Julian, 19th. Not what he wanted as well. And that is your 19-car field. That's interesting. Weird. There we go.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the race. Yeah.
The overlay was acting up.
Pretty interesting day. Really interesting day. And
This
the
overlay
point
is now weird.
Dave. The point is good day, my friend.
Let's see if the other stuff works here. Yeah, okay, that's gonna work. So we might not be able to show the final standings again for some reason. That was weird. Probably a little overtime for the overlay today. All right, so we need to get in here. Mall, Reagan, and Wagner.
Kind of weird the standing is going now. You're gonna figure out later when you see it. But we have a new leader for sure. But weird.
All right. And let's bring up here. Hopefully he's standing by. I think he actually is our biggest gainer of the day, as a matter of fact. Up 12 spots to finish third. Dean Mall, his best finish in the Indy cars and best finishes in the ISRA since, I believe, season 1 of the Truck Series. I could be wrong. With a little check out to see who's all available. And here he is. Dean Mall, welcome to the podium celebration, my friend. A great call to stay out. This is a track position track, and it paid off for you. Talk about the race there at the end, holding off those cars with much fresher tires behind you.
Yeah, I mean, it was rough. I was still saving on that last run a little bit. Until we got the last caution, I was about half a lap short. So I was still lifting around the, 150 marker, I think, going into 3 to save. But yeah, tires weren't that bad. It was just it was the first time I actually had clean air all race, so the car felt pretty good. Ran my fastest lap right there near the end.
Well, that's closers be closing. I mean, that's the time to do it. The other thing about this, that if it wasn't for the last caution, I mean, how short were you going to be, or were you really going to have to save to make it?
If we didn't get the caution when Wagner and I stayed out, I would have made it. I was about half a lap to the good there. And then just running a little bit quicker to keep up with those guys, I burned a little bit more, and I would have made it to the end. And maybe would have had to slip back a couple spots, but I think either way it would planned out. I would have had enough gas to get to the end. Just had to lift a little earlier.
Well, I'm sure you're happy with this finish. You've been kind of, storming up through the field, been amongst the leaders in numerous races all season long, and it's one thing or another kind of prevents you from getting there. Hopefully, this is a start of a string of races for you to kind of get you into the points championship. We still got plenty of time. We only got the whole second half of the season to go. So I'm sure you are welcoming this positive momentum into the second half of the season. But any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Rigney and ISRA for putting this on. Thanks to you guys at P1 for the broadcast. Always good. And, shout out to all the Lionheart guys. And yeah, glad you noticed. Ended up on my lid, I think 2 of the last 3 races. So it's nice to have both 4 wheels on the ground. So.
We unfortunately noticed those bad times, but we always like to remind people of those bad times when you get the good times, because I think you're just like 1 or 2 moves away from having a good string of finishes. So congratulations on the P3 today, and I'm sure we'll see you on the podium a number of times here in the second half of the season.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's nice to get back to do interviews. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
You got it. Yeah. All right. Let's bring up Reagan here. And here is Christopher Reagan. It's been a while since we've had you in the booth here, sir. Congratulations. Track position ruled the day, and you stayed out on that last call, and it really paid off for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. First off, nice talking to you guys finally. It has been a while. But, yeah, I got lucky. I started spinning out of 3 and 4. And I caught it, but I was aimed at the pit, so I got it slowed down, got the pit limiter on. I'm like, well, I told the guys, I guess I'm pitting now. And luckily, I was looking at the screen on top, and it said pit exit open, pit exit open. I'm like, oh my God, please stay open. And it did, and I stayed on the lead lap, and yeah, it worked out.
We'll talk about the shootout at the end there with Matt. That was pretty exciting. Not very many places to pass here. I mean, this is a hard track to pull off a pass at. Really, the best way you did it was kind of sending it in there to 3 and 4, and then you had a good approach in the 3 and 4. Unfortunately, had that little incident with Julian. I think Julian was trying to save fuel, and I think Lewis kind of agrees there might have been a lift there, but you kind of had 3 and 4, at least a secret in 3 and 4 on how to get through there pretty quickly, at least in the second half of this race.
Yeah, I definitely try to. I don't know how I want to say this, pride myself on being a clean driver, but I do feel bad about the Julian thing. But I tell you what, I was coming up on him, and the previous lap, I'm pretty good at braking at the same spot every time, and it felt like he just put the brakes on, and it happened so fast. I thought it was like net code because I didn't even see him out the left side. I used VR, and by the time I turned my head, he was already gone. So I just saw the 4X pop up, and then he yelled on the radio, and understandably. And but yeah, that's a bummer. I don't want to gain positions like that, but it is what it is. And as far as 3 and 4, I'm not gonna lie, I was just kind of driving it like a goon. I was driving it in hard, parking it and shooting it. Park it, shoot it. And I was using third gear a lot. My teammates, I don't think were using third gear at all. And I don't know. I was just trying to wing it.
Well, winged it you did, if there's such a term, but congratulations. And And in the spirit of your 4D teammate who was able to make the race, Craig Forsyth, you were the lead 4D car today. So congratulations on that. Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys for always doing a great broadcast. Thank you for the league. I really love this league. Thank you for my team. It's fun being part of a team again. It's not just Richie and I. We got 4 or 5 of us, and really cool dudes. Thank you, Jim, for the paint jobs and everything he does for the team side. And I really appreciate everything. I look forward to these on Monday nights, and hope we can keep them rolling.
Now, I don't think Dean is in the league. I think Wagner will be in the league. We'll talk about him here, but Thursday nights, are we going to see you? I think you're part of the ERL. Are we going to see you in the opening lineup here at Legacy, Kentucky on Thursday night when Lewis and I call the race for them?
Well, I originally signed up for it, and then I found out it starts like an hour earlier, and I work an hour away from home, so I had to bail out because there's just absolutely no way I'll be able to make that. So
that's too bad because we put you in our top 10 in our power rankings, so we were expecting you to do well, but that's too bad. Well, at least we get to see you nevertheless here in the ISRA. Congratulations. First win here, or first podium here in the IndyCar Series. I'm sure you'll get some more as well. First time we've had you here since I think you got that win in the Truck Series Season 1, so it's good to have you back. Congrats, go celebrate, and we'll catch you at the next one.
Thanks, guys. Hopefully it's sooner than later.
You got it.
Mhm.
All right, and now let's bring up Matt E. Wagner in the Tony Kanaan throwback. Here he is, Matt Wagner, the Tony Kanaan throwback, getting the win here at Motegi, using that track position, holding off some determined challengers, getting the win. I mean, at one point, you were up front for a good portion of the first half of this race, and then you kind of floated in the back. And I wasn't sure if we're going to see you back up front again. And lo and behold, you decide to opt to stay out, get that track position, which is so key here. And that was able to allow you to race back up for the front, get the lead, and hold off those guys to get your second win this season. Congrats, man. Talk about your race.
Well, I made a mistake early on in the race. I fell back quite a bit. Pretty much following the car too close. You know how that goes with aero push and all that here.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really tough to stay pretty much like close to the guy in front of you here at Motegi. So I kept burning the tires off, and of course I kept falling back and back. I just let Julian go, and here comes Rick, and I let him go. I said, I'm not even going to test it. So I learned my lesson the first time around when the caution came out. Oh boy, well, things got a little spicy toward the end. So
it's been a spicy night.
it was pretty spicy out there. I have yet to see some of the replays. I want to see Reagan spin coming on the pit road. I heard that was pretty good.
We got the second half of the story. We caught him spinning because I saw him in the timing of scoring coming to pit road. Or on pit road, so we caught him spinning, but we didn't know that he spun, and as a result was aimed coming to pit road, and decided to finish it off. So we got the other half of the story there, but we kind of got a partial coverage of his spin.
Right. So when we went back green, the initial green, I think was it 40 to go? Am I correct? So I was 5 laps short. So I was pretty much doing what I did at Dover. I remember back in the Truck Series when I won there, when I held off Callisto there. So I was clutching and coasting in 3 and 4 there, and when I was talking to D Mole, he was doing the same thing. So he was up. He had more fuel than I did, probably because I was more cleaner air. And I did run my fastest lap of the race at 1:23. Which is quite odd because I was saving the tires, I wasn't really pushing at all. Just saving fuel. That's all I was doing.
That's the best time to have your fastest lap is right at the end. Well, shout outs, friends, families, sponsors, anyone you want to say hi to before we let you go?
Well, shout out to Gael. He's calling me a nerd alert up in the chat. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. Shout out to my guys over at Horizon Wednesday nights. I'm looking forward to you broadcasting. That's going to be good. I'll have to cherish that one for a while. You know, Murphy's not broadcasting. Hence, shout out to my guys at Area 51. Love you guys so much. And you guys in the broadcast booth, Gary, your knowledge is beautiful. Luis, very good
I
job.
do my best.
Oh, by the way, just you see my little chat I threw in the record. So I actually watched the 99 race before I got on here, that kart race.
Yeah.
And I was watching the leader. He spun trying to take the initial green.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that now. I was in 9 in Indianapolis, and I kind of made my camp in the IRL camp. Didn't watch everything with kart, so some of that stuff in the lost kart era I don't always watch, but I'll go back and definitely watch that for sure. But yeah, you definitely reminded me I should go back and watch that based upon your comment. I didn't remember that.
I'm sure you caught on to the Tony Kanaan scheme that ran in that 99 race.
Yes, we did, and we mentioned that. Yep, we mentioned that as well.
All right, boys. Y'all take care of yourself and have a great night.
All right, we'll see you Wednesday night.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Yeah. Well, Lewis, very exciting race for our second race in the doubleheader tonight. Unfortunately, I can't show you the results again because my overlay just decided to go crap out. I might try one thing here.
Oh, the points, if you want to show, maybe?
Yes, we will show the points here. Or talk about the points. And let's see. Sorry. Need to retype some of this stuff. Let's see if the overlay will work here. Oh, there it is. Let's do this one more time here. And so we give everyone a screenshot. There we go, a proper screenshot. I don't know what happened to the overlay, but man, we got it to work. We got it to work. And now let's talk about the points. We'll let the standings stay up there a little bit longer. Points. Let's do a refresh. And Clindy is now your leader by 7 points over Rigney, who's second. Goodman is 7 points behind Rigney for third. Matt Wagner now has moved up to fourth. And Kirby is now fifth. Lewis Hayes sixth. Hearn seventh. Gallas eighth. Reagan ninth. Murph, just by missing today's race, and Forsyth by missing today's race. Murphy fell to 10th. Dean Mall is 11th. And Forsyth now in 12th. So I forget if they have any drop weeks. I have to go back and look at the rules. But Forsyth and Murphy got their work out cut for them for the second half of the season to get back up into these standings. And I do want to remind everybody, while we have the final standings up, I do want to bring up the schedule one more time. There it is we go to New Hampshire next, Michigan, Iowa, Charlotte, Chicagoland, and we wrap up with Indianapolis. So we are in the second half of the season, Lewis. And next week, we go from one hard track to another really hard track. And it's the first 1 mile oval that these guys have seen in the start for this series. So if you are not a seasoned IndyCar driver, like a lot of these NASCAR drivers are that drove in the 3 NASCAR seasons leading up to this IndyCar season, this open wheel season, this is the first 1 mile oval that you're going to be seeing coming up. And it is, if you thought Motegi was a whole different animal, New Hampshire is a whole different animal altogether.
Yeah, it's really tough, especially it's flat. Everything's flat. The entry is flat. The turn is kind of, I say flat. We race with banking over here, but in New Hampshire is flat everything, and especially in turn actually on turn, I think so turn 2 is more dangerous than the 1 3, kind of, maybe you can lose the car a little bit, but I think so, for me it's more dangerous the turn the turn 2 exit. Really spicy day today with all this happening on the Open Series, and now over here we're talking about spicy. This is really not, because it was a race deal. What's happened with Reagan and Julian. So good race for Wagner. I said it's gonna be over 40 laps on the tank, but he did that. He thought it's gonna be short, but no. Maybe he have maybe 2 more laps around for going to the end. So was a good race. I really like it. Thank you so much for everyone for about the ball they put it over there. 19 people thought it's gonna be Clendy win the race. We finished on 7 today. So
he said he did not take tires on the last stop, and he said big mistake.
Yeah, I think so. You know what? When you brake and when you brake turn, somebody told me that. So when you brake and turn, your tires getting burned. But
yeah,
if you brake,
you get the tire heat from the rotor, or you get the heat from the rotors adding to the tire heat.
That's why the people who know about the road is pretty good in this condition. So pretty good race today, and let's see what happens. New Hampshire is gonna be really, really tough. Especially, we're talking about the NASCAR people. Especially NASCAR. Let's see if it's Kirby do at the 5th today. 5th. Let's see if it's have a good result.
Now the NASCAR guys might actually like it. They'll be like, "Man, I love all this downforce," and they might actually do well. I don't know, but we'll see. That's going to be it for today, though. Matt Wagner gets the win. Chris Reagan second. Dean Darth Maul comes home third. That is your podium from Motegi. Join P1 again next week for round 9 of the inaugural season of the Sim Motion ISRA Open Wheel Series, as the teams and drivers will tackle one of their biggest challenges of the season, a short oval. New Hampshire Motor Speedway. For the first time short oval on the schedule, it's going to be New Hampshire. So coverage begins around 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Again, that's 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Remember, as always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com/P1 Broadcasting. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game's not an easy one, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thought of tonight's race, and if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out on more of P1's other iRacing programming, including tomorrow night, the iRacing IndyCar Oval Series at Charlotte, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Join us as that championship continues. Again, 7:15 p.m. Eastern. The ISRA is sponsored by Sim Motion. Sim Motion is about sim racers taking care of other sim racers. That is their mission. With over 50 combined years of experience in the community and industry, Sim Motion is your one-stop strategy for everything you need for sim racing. Whether you still have your rookie stripes or you're a grizzled veteran looking for that next upgrade, check out their line of sim racing hardware, including top brands like Azatec, Butt Kicker, Moza, Sim Magic, and more. Sim Motion is a proud sponsor of the ISRA. Visit their online store today or follow one of their socials. All the links you need are in the description. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter. Links are in the description. So for Luis Gonzalez Nunez, everyone here at P1 Sim Motion and the ISRA, I'm Gary Gatto saying all good night. And thanks for watching. And all of the men and women serving in the military, easy for me to say. And as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. That's the important message. Catch us again right here next week in New Hampshire for the next race of the ISRA Sim Motion Open Wheel Series. Good night.